Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome to HOTFIX. So, today, Mr. Kirioff and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the whole, we're going to talk about the Flappy Bird fiasco, as I keep calling it, and it makes Kiri laugh every time I say that. But we're going to talk about that, but not specifically about the game, but some of the things that the chap who made the game has said, and how this can we can relate to this, but also we're going to take a bit of a cynical, I'm going to take a cynical viewpoint on some of the reasons why this person has done, I believe, what he has done. Anyway, as ever, Mr. Kirioff has the details to begin with. So, Mr. Kirioff, over to you.
Well, as I'm sure everyone in the world is aware, a game was released recently called Flappy Bird, and it was on iOS and it was on the Google Play Store for Android. And the gameplay consisted of a bird, what flaps when you tap the screen, and it goes up a set amount every time you tap and then falls after you've tapped. And you had to get the bird through some fantastically suspiciously Mario-looking pipes by making him go up and down. And it went viral, sir. Massively viral. Everyone, apparently, in the world, ever, has played it at this point. And the guy coded it, and the guy's name, by the way, Dong Nguyen? Nguyen? I don't know how to pronounce that. I've tried to find out.
I don't know.
Nguyen? I'm not sure.
We don't know.
He is a, obviously, mobile game developer, and he's in Vietnam, and he coded it in 2 or 3 days, slapped it up on the iStore, and it earned him $50,000 a day when the news got around that there was this hilarious free game to try. And that seemed to be quite a good thing. I'd have thought $50,000 a day. I'd take it. You know what? I'd take it.
Really?
But, he's not taking it, son. He's taken the game down. And there could be all kinds of reasons behind it. It could be the fact that if you went to his Twitter page and looked at any of his tweets, almost all the responses were telling him to either fuck off and die or just kill himself flat out. So there is that. There's also the fact that apparently people were massively addicted to it, although how you can be massively addicted to something that, just nothing, I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's the reason he's taking it down, he says, is because it's too much pressure. He thinks it's too addictive, and he doesn't want people to be addicted to a game that's earning him $50,000 a day. Mental, what? And it's caused a bit of a stir, because it, in the space of a week, became massively viral to the point where everyone had heard of it, and everyone was trying it, and then promptly vanished again because the guy couldn't take the pressure and felt it wasn't right, which is kind of vague.
So it is.
Really?
I've got issues with this. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is I want to kind of talk about this whole the way how people, if you are in the public spotlight, how you can really get attacked, because obviously I've got experience of this, but I'm a mentality, or I have a mentality where I just don't I don't really rise to it. If somebody says gives me abuse, I'm just like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Sometimes I might say things back and stuff like that, but it's never really that much. I mean, I'm not going to read the stuff I've been sent because it is pretty bad, but I'll get things sent to me from people who I'm pretty sure are just doing this because they're obviously anonymous on the internet, and also I think it gives them some sort of a thrill to send I'm talking insane hate mail of the most ridiculous hate possible. Now, I could potentially understand if somebody had a game, and like this guy had, Mr. Dong, and he suddenly he's getting a lot of press and his name's going out, whereas before he is this guy in the background and it's just his products which kind of speak for him. It's not him. Yeah. It's not him getting all these personal requests for, I guess, interviews, loads of press requests. People just sending him hate mail. People will send you good mail as well, and usually it far outweighs the hate mail. But for some people, the hate mail can really stand out, and it's oh god. A couple of famous people on Twitter, especially big YouTubers, have stopped using Twitter as much as they did because they were responding too much to things that were going on. Now I use Twitter quite a bit, and I think I'll continue to. But I tell you what I do if ever I see anything bad, I just delete it and block the guy. I mean, I do it a lot. I'll probably do it 2 or 3 times a day, honestly. And I've only got 1,600 followers, so it's not like I'm 100,000 of followers. But I think what is going on is that could be one way to look at this, where this person has made a product, okay, and he's not equipped to deal with the kind of public pressure that's going to be put on him. For us, we always knew. I always knew YouTube, you get bigger. It's a public thing. It's all about community and stuff. We're the faces of it, so we're going to get things thrown at us. You know what I mean? It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
But for somebody like him, maybe he didn't expect that, and he's kind of like, okay, this is getting out of hand, so I'm suddenly going to pull down this magical golden egg game I've got, which is making me $50,000 a day, which I find extremely hard to believe that is the reason why he did it, which I guess can lead me on to my next point, but I'll let you jump in, Mr. Kirill.
Well, one thing this is going to sound a bit weird, but it's something I actually thought about just as we started talking. I've realised that one of the main things that I think has helped with me in terms of if someone's talking crap on the net to me, the fact I can just block and ignore them and go away, I feel almost as though like I've been trained to do that by the dungeon finder in World of Warcraft. When we used to play looking for group and we'd we'd be the tank ago. A long time ago. But if you think about how every other game you'd have some guy shouting his mouth off being an arsehole, all you do is ignore them and get on with it. And that's kind of translated for me into everything online. It's like, well, on the other hand, I could respond. On the other hand, yeah, you're blocked and I can't read what you say anymore. I reckon that, for a start, this guy, Dong, did not know that this game was going to end up being a massive, like, worldwide hit. Because let's face it, it's difficult to predict that kind of thing. And it's nigh impossible to force it to happen. He probably put this together in 2 or 3 days, put it up thinking...
Well, that's what he claims,
it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everyone played it. And at first it was probably a case of, oh wow, this is amazing. Holy crap, look at how much money I'm making. Followed swiftly by people saying, go die, kill yourself, I will hunt you down and murder you, this is too addicting, etc. At which point it suddenly goes from, this is a nice thing I didn't expect, to, why are people telling me they're going to murder me in my sleep?
You have that type of mentality, which I think, like, no disrespect to people who are like coders and stuff, but I think generally they're not the most outgoing of people. Like, if somebody's heavily involved in like programming or something, obviously there's exceptions to the rule, but generally these people are not kind of like the most social sort of thing, so it might be a bit daunting that you're getting a lot of attention like that. But I honestly think it is a complete load of utter bollocks, because I thought this was his only game, but it's not, is it? He actually has other games that are in the top 20, doesn't he?
He's got a game at number 6 and a game at number 18 on the iTunes charts.
All right, so number 6 and number 18. Let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a game in the top 20 of any, like, free, paid, or whatever on the App Store, you are fucking raking it in. You are making a ton of cash, okay? So I think, right, that because this guy has those games, and I don't know what they are. I mean, I don't know what they are. But Flappy Bird has been so...
finding the name
well, you find out, yeah, but Flappy Bird has been so massively successful. I think one of my lights has kind of gone a bit...
There we go.
Yeah. Flappy Bird has been so successful that he can afford to, well, it doesn't even matter what Flappy Bird did, but he can afford to take that down because he doesn't want the hassle of that, because he already has these cash cows there anyway. Because if he only had Flappy Bird, I tell you now, he would not be taking it down. And there's also, I've got, you tell us what the games are before I just go. I'm going to go fucking full blown on this, guys, because fucking ain't standing for it. This is bullshit. PR of the highest degree. But carry on, Mr. Kirill.
He's got several other... This is from Forbes, who did an interview with him. He's got several other top App Store games, including Super Bowl Juggling and Shuriken Block, which are currently number 6 and number 18 on the iOS store, respectively. He's said that he has no plans to remove those games, which now everyone knows the name of.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to get
which
onto.
Which he termed harmless. If he thought users were getting addicted, however, he said he would not hesitate to pull them down.
Okay.
I do not buy that for a moment.
Right. What I think's happened here, right? I think what's happened here, right? You've got a game, Flappy Bird, came out of nowhere. Okay. It's gone straight to the top. Everybody's talking about it, and I'm talking mainstream media are talking about this. The BBC are talking about it, ITV are talking about it in the UK, like other, I guess, American networks, Australian networks, German networks, French networks. Everybody's talking about this. When that happens, you have hit the big time. Okay. Now, I think what's happened is he realizes that's a poor game. It is a poor game, right? A lot of the assets are literally ripped off from Super Mario, and I would be very surprised.
Oh, hang on. I need to jump in quickly here. He's actually said in an interview, he's declared that the pipes in the game, he hadn't really even noticed that they looked like the pipes from Mario. It was just coincidence.
Oh, really?
He hadn't even twigged until it became really popular.
Oh, really?
But bollocks. Absolute bullshit.
The reason they're pipes is so people can relate to it because they know they've seen them, right? But I reckon Nintendo is obviously going to put some pressure on him or something, because Nintendo are fucking assholes. Nintendo slam people for fucking making YouTube videos of the game, so they're going to be all over that pretty bad. So they've probably got a bit of a legal shitstorm about to go down, right? Because they know he's got a lot of money, so they know they can, like, clean him out a little bit. Obviously, not as much money as Nintendo. I mean, 50,000 a day is nothing compared to their kind of revenue. But still, it'd be worth it.
Nintendo's revenue.
I know, but
close to it at this point.
Yeah, but Nintendo has got a ton of money in a bank account. They've got like hundreds and hundreds of millions, well, billions in a bank. I think, because I think actually, this is going off topic a bit, but I think Nintendo could literally survive for the next 25 years without making any profit. They've made that much money, or something crazy. I read somewhere. If they carried on at their current rate. So anyway, but going back to this thing, what I think has happened is he may not like the game. Okay, the game is shit. Potential legal shitstorm, right? Cannot go on forever. Okay, because it's probably going to get a hit with legal stuff. It's probably whatever. I know I've got other games, and I'm most likely going to make more games in the future, right? But my name's becoming quite popular. But I'm sort of coming out of the news. What can I possibly do to push myself back to the forefront and get the names of the games that you've just said back out into the public eye, and also get people like me and you to make content based on his game, which is what we're doing here at the moment, kind of thing. Although this is a bit different. This isn't like we're playing Flappy Bird like you see every other fucking YouTube channel doing, which is, I just think it's terrible. I mean, I know people going about jumping on the bandwagon and all this shit. That is
fake
just
rage videos for Flappy Bird are possibly the latest wave of shittest content you can possibly find on YouTube.
The guy who's hammering his phone as well. It's just like, what is that shit? It's just crap. It's just the worst shit ever. I think what this guy's doing is he has made money off Flappy Bird, but knows it's a really shit thing that's only took him 2 days to make. Knows it's a potential legal shitstorm. He's bringing it down. But he's bringing it down in a way of saying, oh, it's addictive and I'm looking out for people and I'm this and I'm that. Big PR, big press release style thing, although it's obviously just from his own mouth and his Twitter account. But in this modern age has the same effect. Everywhere picks up on it. Today, I seen this on the ITV news website on This Morning, which is like a midday program in the UK, kind of like for housewives and stuff. So you can imagine like the type of content this has on it. Even they were talking about Flappy Bird being removed from the store. And one of the presenters likened it to torture in a Japanese World War II camp. And I thought, what are you talking about?
What?
I don't know. It just goes crazy. What's his name? Philip Schofield. He's an idiot.
Oh, he's a...
But anyway,
yeah,
he's like that Alan Titchmarsh, who's another idiot from this country. But I think it's just a cynical PR play to get his name and his other games out there, so when he releases something, Flappy Bird fucking 2 or some shit, it goes big. But you know what? This goes even fucking deeper than that, because you look at the fucking mobile gaming. We spoke about this last week, didn't we? At the state it's in, right? Now, because people see the success of shit like Flappy Birds, they clone it, and then it's Flappy fucking Marmaduke, and it's a dog flying.
Here it
Flappy
says,
fucking bollocks flying across the Flappy fucking shit.
Listen to this, right? Flappy Bird addicts should have nothing to worry about, as there are certainly no shortages of Flappy Bird replacements. I know, tell me about it. Clones have stormed the App Store with names like Flappy Plane, Flappy Whale, Flappy Penguin, and Flappy Angry Bird.
Flappy bollocks.
Holy shit.
Flappy Angry Bird. Flappy
what
Angry
the hell?
Bird.
What? Unless it's actually by... Is it Roxio who do Angry Birds? Unless it's actually by them. That's going to get fucked in very short order, ain't it? You cannot take the word Angry Bird and use it in your game anymore. Good lord. The thing that I really this is pissing me off the most is the guy has said that his life has not been as comfortable as it was before he released the game. First of all, bullshit. You're about 350 grand up, so no, shut up. Second of all, I couldn't sleep because people were addicted to it. You don't give a fuck. You give a fuck about the fact that you created a shit game. Now your name is associated with a shit game, and you get hassled over Twitter every single day for your shit game. And what he's done is the way he's actually approached this is to make it look like he is some sort of victim. So not only is he trying to get the sympathy vote, I made a game and it did really well, but it's affected my life so badly. No, it hasn't. He's then trying to make it look like not only is he worthy of sympathy for making the game, that is totally free, that he has, no one gives a fuck if he made the goddamn game. Is the problem. He's trying to get sympathy for the fact that he spent 3 days coding some shit and people liked it. I'm not going to be sympathetic to that. What the fuck is that?
I don't even...
I put minimal effort in. I better feel really sorry for myself. What are you talking about?
You see...
The whole point of the mobile market at the moment is that it is terribly shit casual games that are either locked behind a paywall or have no gameplay mechanics other than you look at the screen for 2 minutes and press something. He managed to make a game where you tap slightly more often than other games. It netted him God knows how much money in a week. And so we need to feel sorry for him because people don't know when to stop tapping a fucking screen. No, fuck off. That's just retarded. Who would actually listen to that argument of, well, things were great until I earned a shit ton of money, but now they're not so good?
Like, listen, guys.
What are you talking about?
Listen, guys. Okay, in this world, right? I don't care who you are, but if you make something which makes that much money, right, or you have a product, or you have whatever, a business that makes that much money, you do not say no. Let's just get rid of the business. Who would say that? You know, and you might say, well, Sty, that's bullshit. The guy honestly believes his game is making, you know, kids addicted to it, whatever. He doesn't care. That's why he made the game. You know, that's why the game. I mean, I've played it on my iPad. Yeah. So if the way it works is you load the game up and there's an advert at the bottom, an advert at the top. You die, it loads adverts in, and you start again. And of course, you die so fast. This is kind of the beauty of the game in terms of showing adverts. You die so fast in Angry Birds, whatever the fuck it's called, Flappy Bird. You get adverts shown to you again and again and again and again and again, and you're seeing multiple adverts in like within a few minutes, and that's why it's making so much money. Obviously, it's got a massive tidal wave of support. You know, I honestly, right, when I started seeing the big YouTubers, I see like people like Boogie and people like that suddenly making Flappy Bird videos, I knew it was going to happen. You know why I knew it was going to happen? I got a text message off my younger sister, and she said, "Have you seen this game? It's awesome." And I'm like, "What?" And I fucking loaded it up, and I'm like, "This is shit." First thing I said, it looks like Mario, what's this? But they're all playing it, yeah? Like, on the Apple stuff, because most of my family have got iPhones and that, unfortunately, you have, like, a game center ID, and you can see your family members, what they've been doing, and most of them have been playing it, like, you know, they've got scores of, like, 80 and 90. I can't even get 10, and I die, and it's like, what the fuck is it? They're just addicted. They're not addicted to it, but they're just using it as a time waster sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's why the game was designed. So for, you know, it's like a drug dealer saying, I'm so sorry for being a drug dealer. I didn't realise people would get addicted to my methamphetamine and my fucking heroin cocktails I've been making. I'm so sorry. Please love me. And how about take some of this LSD?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I've removed it from the market, and I'm offering a completely different drug now that's not quite as bad for you. And here are the names of it. It's not, I mean, to give you an idea of just how far that, I mean, this for me was like the key as to how spread this Flappy Bird thing was. Last night, I went out for a meal with my wife to a pub. We were sat there in the corner of the pub having a nice meal. There's a big party next to us, right? About 14 people, big family affair. Yeah. Kids, grandparents. Yeah. Do you know what their topic of conversation was? For an hour and a half, Flappy Bird. Genuinely, I was sat there listening to, like, all of them. The kid, who was like 4 or something, was playing Flappy Bird on an iPad whilst they were talking about the fact that the guy was going to take it down soon because
he must be an impoverished kid playing on his iPad.
One of them actually said, right, he's taking it down because he feels so guilty because it is very addictive.
Yes.
But
yes.
He does do other games though, so I hear. So they should be good. And I was like, oh well, there you go.
You've
marketing.
sold.
Well done.
Yeah,
straight off. There's a family of 14 people here. You've just sold them 2 other games.
I hate that.
By saying that you feel guilty. You know, I mean, that's
I hate that. But that's exactly showing. This, by the way, guys, is a scalpel that I'm holding. It's not like some sort of.
What are you holding? A scalpel?
It's a craft scalpel thing. It's just on my desk. It's not a. Because this is my Razorback. Look, yeah, look at it.
Cut you.
Yeah, Razorback.
Cut you.
But anyway, I think the other way of looking at this, you could say, well, people could be saying, well, you guys are just jealous that you didn't come up with the idea. Number one, I can't code for shit, and if I could, I wouldn't have made that. Number 2, right? Ignore that, but just think of other people. Think of like people who are hating on him. You know, maybe crazy hate. So maybe they're a bit jealous because this person has came out of nowhere, yeah, with a product that hasn't taken very long to make. It's like the ultimate dream come true if you think about it. Some game took 2 days, 3 days to make, and you're making that much money back. It's pretty ridiculous. There will be people who are jealous of that. I get people who are jealous of me with YouTube, and it's retarded. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? You know, I don't understand the jealousy stuff because at the end of the day, those people have had to go out and do it. So what if they thought of it before you or done it their way or whatever? That's just the way the world fucking works, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's one. So that's something actually. If anyone ever says, I could have done that, yeah, you probably could. But you didn't.
You know what?
You
people say to me,
you didn't have the capability.
You know what?
So you got beaten to
I'm going to lay down the hurt. There's a post on the forums, right, where I talk about apparently having some sort of work-related stress crap because of the amount of work I do, right? Now, people will say things to me like, hello, I want to start a YouTube channel. Can you tell me how to do it? And I'm like, what? I can. I can tell you how to do it, but that's not what it's about. It's about putting in the effort to actually do it. And the same applies to anything. Like, you cannot just turn up and have a YouTube channel. You cannot just turn up and make an app. You have to actually have the effort there to do it. If somebody put less effort in but got lucky, that's fine. That's just the way it works. I see YouTube channels who have only been around for a year, yet they're 10 times the size of our channel. You know, and it's like, I could sit there and go, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know, because I know what we do is what we do, and that's fine. But I think, like, I mean, going back to the whole, like, the original point we covered, where I think some people are mentally able to deal with abuse and some ain't, I think that is true. But I think, you know, maybe the example I gave of this guy, because he's like a coder and a programmer, maybe he's not the most socially outgoing. Like I'm saying, not everybody's like that. There are exceptions and stuff. I'm not saying that's the rule either, so don't quote me on that. But maybe he got bombarded. Maybe let's just say he wasn't equipped to deal with it, so he got bombarded with a load of press, and he couldn't deal with it, and then he just wanted the world to go away. But I don't think that's what's happened. I think, like we discussed, it is literally cynical PR marketing of, I'm going to pay people. And that example you just give of the people in the pub fucking believing it is retarded, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask my sisters what they think about this, and I bet you they say the same thing. I should have asked them before. Yeah, I should call them and get one of them on HOTFIX now.
I actually think that I'd say I would concede that I think part of it could well be down to the fact that in the space of like a week, his life will have changed to a significant degree. Because, yes, he has got games that are number 6 and number 8 in the iOS store. So, clearly, it's not like he's a stranger to having a successful game, because you don't get that high up without plenty of people playing the game.
No.
But neither of those have given him the attention that Flappy Bird gave him. Or, you know, they haven't caused a reaction as quickly.
But they are most likely making him about $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a day anyway. That's how much he's probably making a day anyway.
But I think it's like, he did this, it blew up. Suddenly, everything was completely different. He was probably getting hated on quite a lot at the very start of it. When he revealed how much he was making, it just got worse. And he could well have wanted to, you know, get out. But he could have got out very easily just by taking it down. Interviews, not necessary. Telling people that, oh, it's too addicting, you know, I just feel sorry for the people playing it, not necessary. He could have easily just set his Twitter to private so people couldn't respond to him.
Well, of course,
all of the publicity around it.
That's reminded me.
All these other games are mentioned.
That's reminded me about, and again about other games that I mentioned. The Twitter thing, the Phil Fish situation is the same thing with Fez, where I think in his case, I think he got a grant to make the game was it from the Canadian government? I'm not sure. I'm a bit sketchy, but I do obviously know what he did. He was getting really involved with people on Twitter, and if anybody said anything about the game, you know, negatively, he would go crazy and defend it like a madman. You know, like a madman. And that's like, what are you doing? That's not the way you conduct your public image. You don't go around just slamming people on the internet. Gave him a really negative image. Ended up with him like stressing out, burning out, and he just said, I'm fucking making any games anymore. Just pissed off. Although I think they are making Fez 2 or something, but has no public image now. And I guess like in that case, that person, I can understand, you know, if somebody does come in and say this video shit style, I do get a bit like, oh, well, right then, why is it shit? You don't just sit there and go like, oh, thanks for the comment. You're like, fuck you, man. It took me, time to make this. Which, by the way, fuck you, YouTube. Hang on, fuck you, YouTube at the moment. They're not updating subscriber feeds. That's nice of them, isn't it? Assholes. Anyway,
different to usual standard of service. But that's like, it's how you deal with it, though, isn't it? I mean, people send crap our way on a pretty much daily basis. And
it is a daily basis.
Yeah, well,
you get a bit less, but I get loads of shit.
But the thing is, it's how you deal with it, isn't it? If you went back and actually dealt with every person who sent you shit, then you get nothing else done, and you'd be like a fucking emotional. And of course, some of
these want to get into an argument with you, and will keep arguing with you all day long because that's what they want to do.
Yeah. And it's how you do it. If you can put it aside and ignore it, then well done. You cut out for that, for this kind of thing. Because if you can just put it all aside and say, yeah, but I don't really give a fuck, and then just block them and ignore it. If it's not constructive, ignore it and ignore them. It's that simple. But I don't think these people are equipped to deal with that. And if you put yourself out there as the creator, as essentially the PR contact for a game, like Phil Fish did with Fez, like this guy has done with Flappy Bird, you're going to get all of the shit that a PR department would filter out if there actually was one, a PR department does not sit there and when they get a tweet saying, "Oh, Call of Duty doesn't fucking work, you prick," they're not going to then forward it onto the development team, are they? They're just going to be like, no. Only legitimate criticism and legitimate problems would get through to the creator, but they're not in a position to do that. So if Phil Fisher had a meltdown and just was like, "No, fuck you, I'm not doing anything ever again." This guy, though, I think part of it could be down to that. But I think the way he handled it was not in the way of someone who was out of their comfort zone and just wanted it to stop.
Yeah,
it was the mark of someone who may have been out of their comfort zone, but saw a very good opportunity to turn it into a massive PR stunt, which got everybody, including Billy Ray, Tommy, whatever his name is,
Billy Ray,
down the pub talking to his 13 family members about a game where you tap a fucking screen and making them feel sorry for the guy who made the game where you tap a screen and then he gets $50,000.
You know what I heard as well, right? This is what I heard as well, again from a family member. They were like, "But he's from Vietnam, so they haven't got much money." And I'm thinking, Vietnam, it's not like...
He fucking has.
Yeah, he has. But I'm thinking Vietnam, it's not like... Vietnam, it's not like fucking Vietnam of the 60s that America was invading. Yeah. It is like...
Also, hang on, Vietnam doesn't have... Okay, so let's say that statement is...
It's actually fairly developed, yeah.
Say Vietnam, not a place where you find a lot of money. Would you, in that case, have even less of a reason to take down your $50,000 a day game?
Exactly.
It's not, you're living in an apartment and the people next to you are bringing in $1,000 a month between all 6 of them, and you're getting 50 grand a day.
Yeah, but that's what they think. Like, but it's not like that, though. Yeah, but it's not like that.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's like that's another kind of that's like sympathy for something that doesn't even exist. That's like that's creating a scenario that isn't real for someone who doesn't need sympathy in the first place to give them more sympathy. Oh god,
the cycle of sympathy is complete. All right, shut up. We're out of here. We're out of here, Mr. Curio. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about this. I want to know what you think about the whole Dong Nguyen situation, or whatever his name is. Is he playing the system? Is it legitimate? What do you think of his other games? Did you enjoy Flappy Bird? What do you think about Phil Fish? Because he kind of comes into this as well. Anything else you want to ask him, Mr. Kirioff, before we take our leave? I need tea.
Oh yeah. What's your general feeling on the way that these people handle themselves in the public eye? Do you think they could do it better, worse? Should they just shut themselves away? What do you reckon?
Oh, I just went really close with my eye to the camera. Public eye. Anyway. It's gone terrible. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been Unit Lost. I'm Stylosa, he's Kirioff, and follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming. Follow him, he is @Kirioff, and subscribe to the channel, like the videos, favourite the videos, tell all your chums, and don't play Flappy Bird. We'll catch you next time, people. Toodaloo.